Unpopular opinion, Los Angeles sucks. I never want to live here forever. I never want to raise kids here or have a family. I am only here for work and I will move just anywhere else but here. And I don't know why no one ever talks about this. I don't know what they're scared of, but everyone who comes to visit here first visits Hollywood Boulevard and the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which sounds bougie, but I want to call it Hollywood Walk of Shame or Walk of Flame. It sucks bad. It's dirty and filled with high homeless people, which I'm not demonizing them, but they're everywhere on the streets. Gangs are also everywhere. It's impossible to walk around without fearing for your safety, especially as a woman. So quickly, when you visit Los Angeles, you realize it's not what they claim it to be. It's not glamour and glitter. It smells like dirt, shit. It smells like dirt, shit, weed, and sweat. And everything about this city just sucks. I'm sorry. Welcome back to A Screenwriter's Secret Diary, the podcast where we talk about the reality of Hollywood and expose that it's not all glamour and glitz because it sucks. We share the truth about what really goes on behind the scenes, which I'm thinking of calling it the BTS podcast. The BTS of Los Angeles is fake lives, fake friends. Everything is about money and social status. Social life sucks. I know you expect it to not suck in Hollywood, but I'm gonna tell you why, okay? Stay tuned. There's also a lot of homeless people who once dreamed of becoming artists of some kind, but then they went into drugs. It's really the same story for most of them. Gang activities, which causes a lot of helicopters and police sirens here and there, and I fairly live at a very safe place, maybe one of the safest places in LA, and there are still helicopters every single day looking for a suspect. Another reason that everyone gives is traffic. That's not one of the reasons for me. That's just over dramatic LA people thinking that's what traffic looks like. Come to Istanbul and I'll show you how traffic actually looks like. You would travel to a location with your car in 20 minutes in the middle of the night when everyone is sleeping. But throughout the entire day, you would go to that same place that took 20 minutes. It will take you 2 hours. That's what traffic looks like. So stop saying traffic. It's bullshit. Anyways, go grab your coffee or matcha or tea or boba, whatever you drink, settle in, and let's dive into the dark side of LA, which is literally the real side of LA. Let's be all honest, okay? The mental prison that LA puts artists in. Maybe I should title this My Love and Hate Relationship with LA, but the thing is, it's not just mine. There are a ton of people in LA who feel this way. I just never see anyone else talk about it, which I think is about money. Because these people in LA make you guys watch their video or content or TikTok by making you feel envy or jealousy. So if they tell you that life in LA sucks and the reality is not as they make it seem like, you won't be envious or jealous anymore. So they won't make money off of you anymore. But I don't make money off of envy or jealousy, thankfully. I never want to make money off of those negative emotions. I want to build a community where genuine, awakened artists can support each other. I'm going to talk more about individualism versus community soon in the upcoming episodes or in an upcoming Sunday video. By the way, every Wednesday I have a podcast episode about the entertainment industry and my life in LA and what I learned, screenwriting, blah, blah, blah. And on Sundays, I make a separate YouTube video, so not for this podcast, but just a YouTube video about personal development, achieving your goals, and some motivation. If you want that, make sure to subscribe on my YouTube. But I really want to build a community of artists who are artistic souls, not like the majority of artists in LA who are only guided by money and nothing else. They can become soulless very quickly for just a quick buck. Those are also the same content creators. I don't even want to call them content creators. They are influencers who try to sell you products that you do not need. They know you don't need it, but they're gonna make money. So they will act like it's the best perfume or best skincare they've ever used. I died. That's their reaction. It's pathetic It's giving liar energy. It's giving you. Now, when you think of Los Angeles, think of yourself surrounded by all those fake people you see online in real life. All they do is value their view counts, their viewers, like how many viewers they got, their followers, the brands that want to collab with them, their agents or managers or producers who want to work with them, or the celebrities they met that one time. They literally walk around with a photo of that celebrity, like flash it like it's a badge of honor. They are walking billboards of their own ego. Does that make sense? And if you're someone who moves to LA for your artistic purpose in real life, you want to be a writer and tell your authentic stories like me, you quickly find that you don't fit in here. Your artistic soul does not belong here. You are way too authentic, you're way too original, and you are way too expressionist. If you don't know expressionist, it means an artist who expresses their emotion, their emotional process and emotions, rather than their external reality, through their work, through their art. And that just doesn't fit in with Hollywood's remakes and sequels and prequels. Or if you're a musician, you see more and more authentic musicians and talented songwriters and poets who turn their poems into songs on YouTube or TikTok more than you see authentic Hollywood musicians, right? The reality of Hollywood and the stardom is finally being exposed, as slow as it may be. It's slowly happening. But living here in Los Angeles, so many of us, real people, are incredibly depressed. We usually find one or two people that we can hold on to because through those authentic, original, genuine people, we're holding on to our humanity. LA is a city that runs on tricks and money. For many people, it's about where's the next big buck? Where's the next big buck? But for genuine artists like myself and people who I surround myself with, and probably you, if you're watching this, we look at it like, where's the next genuine artistic experience? A lot of my friends who work in Hollywood, this like unlike me, who's more on the independent side, which I'm so happy about, the art that goes on in the independent side, I'm happy. I'm happy where I'm at the moment in time. But a lot of my friends who are in Hollywood, they work for 12 hours a day, and they mostly say they would rather go back to their 9 to 5 at some marketing firm because that was at least 8 hours. 12 hours a day in a Hollywood set that is not doing anything genuine, it's torture. It's literal torture. That's what I've heard. Most of my friends went back to their countries. Amsterdam is not a country. Netherlands, Iceland, Britain, so many other countries. They went back and they're like, I'm happy where I'm at. I never want to go back to that shit again. And I relate to that. So when you look at it like, where's the next genuine artistic experience in a city filled with artificial people, you get hurt a lot. Sometimes I think, what would have happened to me? Where would I be right now if I didn't have my amazing partner and my equally amazing best friend in LA with me? Because I see a lot of this depressed people. One of my newer friends now, she's an actress. She's a genuine artistic person. She's one of the most artistic people I've ever seen. Like, she's super interested in musicals. She's super interested in old musicals. I love it. Anyways, she's incredibly depressed right now. She tries to make friends and then boom, they're not genuine. She tries to make friends and boom, they just want to take advantage of her for an unpaid acting job. And she's like in SAG, so question mark there. Anyways, I also experienced the same thing. Whoever I meet ends up hurting me. On set, you think you connected with someone and then they go missing unless they need something from you. You know, I have so many stories of this, and I'm sure my friends also have a lot of stories, but I'll tell you two of mine. On this set, I was a script supervisor working with an amazing director, and everyone kept saying how we looked so alike. It was so nice because she's pretty and smart, and I really loved her confidence. I really loved her storytelling skills and how her mind worked. We had genuine talks on set about our past, our parents, our mental health, and everything. And it was all so similar. Our experiences and conclusions were very similar. Throughout that set, we kept saying, we gotta grab some coffee, we gotta meet later, we gotta keep in touch, we gotta keep talking about this, we gotta become friends, right? That's what we kept saying. Like, she said it, I said it, we both said it. She said it first. Don't get me wrong. She really did say it first. And I kept my word. I tried my best to keep in touch, maybe every month. Every time I wanted to meet her and grab some coffee, she would not reply. I kept making excuses for her in my mind, saying maybe she didn't see my messages, even though it literally says read on the screen. I keep thinking like, oh, she's just busy, it's fine. And I wasn't being pushy at all. Again, I only write maybe once a month or once in 3 months. Sometimes 5-8 months went on without me writing. This was going on from 2021 to 2023, and finally I told myself, okay, this is the last time I'm gonna ask her to hang out. And this was like late 2023, I think. And by the way, I've also supported her work because that's what I do. I support people's work that I care about. I shared her films on my pages, even donated to her film. I became a fan. I became a fangirl for her horror film and sci-fi film. But I didn't like the films, by the way. But I liked her. I loved what she was doing. I loved her creativity and courage. And I just support artists like that all the time, despite their work being something I like or not. I believe in good karma from supporting other artists, which again, you might have heard me if you listen to this podcast. And about her, I always thought if we connected and became friends, I was sure that we would inspire each other to create even more. Come to each other for motivation, inspiration, for some real talk, because LA sucks and she seemed like a genuine person who was equally lost in this sea of crazy people. But it didn't happen. I wrote her one last time that we should grab some coffee, but even though she read the message, she never replied. But people reply when they need something from you. People don't reply when it's not something that interests them. This also happened with so many people. I cannot even begin to tell you all these stories. But the second story, I met this great singer and musician. We worked together once. We worked on a late night set even and fell asleep on the couch together, which sounds interesting. I don't know. It was just, not like together hugging. Just I'm on this side and she's on that side. And we connected on a personal level, or at least that's what I thought. She wanted to keep in touch. I wanted to keep in touch. But again, I was the one who tried. And again, even though she's sweet on messages, it didn't seem like she wanted to keep in touch. So don't say let's keep in touch. You're giving mixed signals, my girl. I don't think I'm weird for taking the words let's keep in touch, let's grab a coffee afterwards, or OMG, we could be such good friends, literally, When I say those things, I really mean it. And I expect people to follow through, or at least reply and acknowledge that they said these things. So now they can let me know if they don't want to meet. I won't bite. I would actually be like, cool, good luck with your life, bye. But the thing is, if I do some big project or get a big gig and I post about it, these types of people, I'm not talking about these two, but in general, these types of people suddenly text me. They suddenly contact me, they suddenly acknowledge me, and even some of them want to suddenly meet me. It's crazy how quickly they change. And that's the biggest thing I hate about LA and LA people. These artificial people, which some of them don't seem artificial when you meet them in person, but then through their changing behavior, you see that they don't value your heart. They value your name, your success, your accomplishments, and your contacts. Another common example that I should mention here is when someone wants to meet with you in LA, someone you know from some set or I don't know, from your degree, wherever you went to film school, and then you meet them thinking, oh, they want to be friends. That's amazing. gosh, like I really need friends, because in LA, it's so hard to make friends and find those genuine connections. So you go there. And this is such a common experience, by the way. Like I literally last week, I heard 3 different people who experienced the same thing. And I finally didn't feel alone because I was like, in my head, it was exploding so hardcore about what just happened. Like I couldn't process what happened until I talked to people who experienced the same thing. They want to meet you. You go to a coffee shop, and then you think you're going to talk about life, life in general, not work, definitely. Like maybe it'll be mentioned once or twice in an artistic way, maybe some complaints, right? But then you sit down and grab some coffee, and they're raining a lot of work-related questions and work-related experiences on you. It's almost like a networking event rather than a real genuine sit down with a friend. I was so shocked when this happened to me. Like I was thinking we were gonna, like she's an amazing writer, she's an amazing creator. I was gonna meet her again, like after 4 years of not meeting because, things get crazy over here. But apparently it wasn't the case. She wanted to meet with me because she saw me achieving a lot of shit. That she was like, oh, I have to stay in touch with her. And then after 1 hour, which is also crazy because this is also a common experience. After 1 hour, she was like, oh, I have to go. And she literally stood up in the middle of the conversation and she was gone. And I thought I did something wrong. Then I texted her. I was like, hey, like, did I say something bad? She was like, no. I just had another plan. I was like, cool. And I asked this to other 3 friends that I had who experienced same shit, like different, right? Like one of them is a camera department, the other one is a director, the other one is an actress. So they experienced the same shit, and they also had them stand up and leave 1 hour later, like exactly at the 1 hour mark. And that was very confusing. So that means they're looking at this as a networking event. And we, on the other hand, were not looking at it as a networking event. We were actually looking for genuine connections. Now, back to the episode. I miss where I grew up. I miss Istanbul so much. I miss London, where I lived for over a year before moving to LA. It's just so much better. When you meet someone, you know their intentions. There is no beating around the bush. There is no, I'm going to take advantage of you and I'm looking for ways to take advantage of you. It's just very direct. You know it if they want to become friends. You know it if they don't want to talk to you. You know it if they just want to talk to you for the sake of this event, but they won't talk to you afterwards. You know it. The signs are very clear. But in LA, the signs are not clear at all. The signs are confusing. I also know a lot of people who moved away from LA for that specific reason. It's nearly impossible to make real friends and real connections, which is a short film I have, by the way. It's called Real Connections. It literally talks about LA life and how even 2 roommates cannot make real connections. Like that's literally the movie. It's artificial. It's very artificial. They don't care about you. They don't care about your heart. I don't like that about LA because I have never been an artificial person. I never wanted to be fake. I just cannot do it. I feel ew when I see myself being fake. That might be because I grew up with a narcissistic parent who was extremely artificial to the outside world, acting like he's the best, acting like our family is the best and he treats everyone the best, while the reality was really bad. So seeing that, I made a promise to myself that I will never be artificial. Like I can totally do an American accent in my daily life if I wanted to. I could also do British accent if I wanted to because I lived in London for a while, right? But finally I woke up to the fact that I am me and I need to be me in order to be a genuine artist and preach about being yourself, and also break out of all the generational traumas, because I don't know if you know the Turkish culture, it's very close to Greek and Armenian culture. It's almost like, what would the neighbor think? What would this person think? That person think? Like, geez, what would your family think? Think about that instead of other people. It's so annoying. I don't give a shit anymore, and I'm happy, beyond happy with my natural self and natural accent. I actually think I'm now having a glow up because I'm finally letting myself be myself. Does that make sense? I like the art of acting, but I don't love acting in real life. Like, that's for the stage. Stop acting. Stop acting cool. Stop acting like you're someone else other than who you really are. It's so annoying. And LA is filled with that. LA is basically about showing off and acting like you're the best, you're the coolest person ever. I don't play that game, and I will never play that game. If you ever catch me playing that game, feel free to tell me to stop. I will listen. Before we end this episode, I want to emphasize a point I made at the beginning of this episode about how LA is very dirty. The streets are just, it's impossible to walk on the streets. Parking sucks. It's so bad. The signs are very confusing if you're here for the first time. Like, finally, after 6 years, I figured it out. Finally. The streets, Hollywood Walk of Fame with pink stars and the name of the celebrities, it's so dirty. It's so dirty. I don't think they ever clean it. It's so bad. Everyone walks all over it too. And if anyone asks me in the future for my name to be there, I will be saying no. Because there are two reasons. One, I think it supports a lot of things that's wrong with society. Two, why would I want people to walk all over my name? That doesn't make any sense to me. That's all the rant we're gonna do for today's episode. I hope this was helpful, especially if you're someone who dreams of moving to LA. I invite you to rethink your strategy. See if you can do your art from anywhere else in the world. Or plan a visit to LA, see what you think about it, and see if you can just do your work and get out. Thank you for watching if you're on YouTube. Thank you for listening if you're listening on a podcast app. Make sure to follow, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And again, I post podcast episodes every Wednesday, but I post personal development and different topic, motivation, how to achieve your goals type of videos every Sunday exclusively on my YouTube channel. Make sure to like this video, like this episode, and share this episode or video with another genuine artist. Tell your artists who have genuine artistic souls to join our community so we can grow and actually share each other's work. I hate those communities made for artists like on YouTube or Patreon, and they don't allow self-promotion. Like, what? I get it, to an extent, self-promotion and promoting your art should be done in a more controlled way, but when I have a Patreon, we will have a corner where we will literally share our own work and art and support each other. That's my goal. Thank you and see you next time.